Okay, I'm back again. Apologies for the delay in the time between videos. I did have a 3D printing project that I needed to get out of the way.
Roger, roger.
And that took all the Christmas break I had to get that done. And then normal life got in the way, and then when I did have free time, my motivation was gone, so I've kind of lost my mojo a wee bit, but hopefully this is me coming back now, so I'm doing a fairly short video just to cover the anchor handling davits. I do apologise just how long I've been away, because I have missed it actually. So we have the kit parts, and then we've got some photo etch and turned brass parts. So the photo etch is all KA models. The Pontos set only provides a small chain. We'll start cutting them out and then we can come back. So that's all the parts ready now for cleanup and assembly. So these are all KA models parts. So the first thing to do is we'll clean up the davit themselves. And we virtually have to take off everything that's on the plastic part, because they will be replaced. Okay, so with all the molded detail removed, we just need to clean up the lines, or the seam lines. I'm not sure if you can see. It's really quite a step there. So we just need to take that down. Okay, so we'll just go around the whole part, just cleaning up the seams. So that's the two davits cleaned up now. Give them a brush over with Tamiya extra thin, just to knock down any fuzzy furry bits, but that's them done. So the next thing we'll do is we'll make up these, but we've got the pulleys are broke off or cut off the waste, and then just cleaned them up a bit. And then they fit inside these framework that we need to fold to shape. So first thing we'll do is we'll clean up the surface in preparation for soldering. And we'll just use a fiberglass pen for that. And that's just to remove any contaminants or coating that might be on the brass. And we'll do both sides. And then there's one edge or one side that wasn't. So we've got a couple of options. We can fold this into its box shape now and then feed the pulley into it. Or I was actually thinking of soldering one part and then folding it into position. So I'll try that first, I think. I've also got a new tip for the soldering iron. The other one was getting a bit well used with all the soldering we've done throughout this project. Let's put this other one here just to keep it level. Stop it falling over. Okay. So we should be able to fold up the frame now. So we'll get that soldered. Okay, so that's the first one done. It's not too bad. I think what I'll do, I'll try making up the box first and then sliding the pulley into the next one, but that's it done anyway. Well, that's that step done. So the alternative method is we'll fold up the frame first. Okay. Just a tiny bit of solder on the corner there. See how the pulley fits in there. Okay, bit of space. Okay, so that seems to be, the wheel seems to be in position now. It appears the frame is narrower or shorter on one side than the other. But you might be able to make out, there's a little groove there, and that's for one of the other parts. So what we'll do one of these flanges or brackets next, and then that's really the bulk of the parts. It's just the same again and again. So we'll come back once I've done everything up to the same stage, and then we can see what the final assembly is like. Because we'll just solder on these. This is when you have to watch they don't fly off. Just like that. Got plenty of spares though. So. What we can do just clean up if there's a bit too much is just put onto some sandpaper, get a couple of rubs. Do the same for the other side. And that's it cleaned up. So I'll go off and get everything to the same stage, and then we'll come back and see how we're going to finish these off and get them onto the davit. So that's all the flanges and pulleys soldered up now. There's these are that I've done as well. Again, they were just folded and soldered. So the next thing is we want to solder on one of the flanges onto that groove there. And then we want to get this chain onto the other end. But let's do this side first. So I'll just hold that in there in the close peg, which hold it steady. Okay, some solder into the groove. So hopefully if I can get this in through that, I'll be able to hold it into place. Okay, I've secured the close peg to the block so it doesn't move and apply any pressure. Okay. Bracket's a wee bit wider than the frame, but I'm going to leave that as is. A wee bit of an angle as well, but I'm going to accept that. Right, so we'll do the other part. This is going to be a lot trickier, I think, but okay, so this is that part here. And it goes at like a 45-degree angle. Okay, it's not too bad. Trying to push it this way, I might be able to just bend it without breaking the solder bond. Okay, that's good enough. There we go. Okay. So that's the lower pulley done. And it fits there somewhere. And then the other top pulley is just hangs from the top. So I'll make up one more of these and then we're almost ready to start fixing everything to the davit. So before I start fixing everything onto the davit, I'm actually going to drill 0.5 so I can put a bit of wire in, and then that way I can hold it, particularly for painting as well. I'll just use a bit of super glue gel to secure it. Okay, now I can hold it. So we can now move on to attaching all these brackets onto the frame. There's one thing I did notice which I don't like, is this rearward band. It's a good bit narrower than the eye that we're putting on. It looks a bit funny being oversized, so what I'll do is, using the razor blade saw, just going to make a groove for it to sit into. Try not to touch the other one, of course. And by applying sidewards pressure that way, we can enlarge the slot. Just try and open it up a wee bit with a knife now. That sits in there a lot better. Stops there being big overhangs. So we'll glue them on using just a gel. So we'll use all these like half ones and they go on the underside. And then we've got the ones at the top. So we'll just put some gel into that cut out there. And then on the upper part, dip that in as well. needs to go back here. So let me put that aside and I'll go and do the other one. So typically, the second one went together a lot quicker and easier. Okay, so there's one last thing, and that's to hang some chains from the other eyes. So the K8 supply chain is a lot finer, I believe, than the Pontos one. We need to cut 8 links and 6 links. So that's one, so we need 2 6 and 2 8s. So that's all the chains cut out. Next thing would be to glue them into that. The eyes down there, one in each. But I think I'm going to paint them first because I don't want to paint the chains. They might be a bit too shiny. But if that's the case, I'll paint them with watercolour or something. Just give them a bit of a wash to darken them up. So these are now ready for prime and paint. And I won't show it on camera, but we'll use the 1500 surfacer and just the normal hull colour we've used throughout. Okay, so that's the colour coats on. It's looking pretty good. There is one mistake or error, and that is when I was cleaning up the mouldings, the cleats at the back was getting damaged and bent and that, so I cut them off with intent that I'd glue them back on prior to painting, but I forgot about them. So I'll just leave them off. So we can now apply the chains on that too. So we'll just put some super glue gel into there again. So the 6 link goes to the back edge and the 8 link to the front. A wee bit tangled up. There we go. Okay, so we'll fix them to the ship now. Okay, I'm not going to actually fit them permanently in place because there's a lot to do with fine detail around the bolt, so they'll just get knocked off. So we'll just again make a 0.5 hole, and then the brass wire can go down. Okay, so that's kind of done. I'll just fit the other side and then take some photos and we're done.